Any more questions, Pakistan?
No more question, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So it looks like that we are coming to a closure to this lecture, as Iran also they don't have any more questions. Let me
Okay.
Iran.
We no question.
Okay.
We no question.
Okay, thank you very
We
much.
have question.
Thank you very much.
He says we have questions.
Uh, Iran, you have questions?
Yes, we have two questions.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead now.
Rahim, thank you. Thank you. Please clear the issue of importance between these five Maqasid of
I can't understand. I can't.
which of them?
Yes. The second question.
No, excuse me, I couldn't hear your first question.
Please clear the Thank you.
I think Iran, we are not hearing you very well, so I don't know what's the problem.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I have one question about justice. You hear my voice? We are from Iran.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
You hear my voice?
Go ahead, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yes. I have a question about
Justice.
as you mentioned that justice is very important, and you have referred to some ayah from the Holy Quran. But I think we should emphasize more about the justice in this Maqasid al-Sharia. And as you mentioned that I think the soul of Islamic values is the justice. As the Holy Quran says, شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط. And God is and the Malaika and the prophets, all of them are emphasize this. We should spare no effort to clear the dimension of this important value. Thank you.
You are right, of course, justice enjoys a very prominent place in Islamic teachings. And of course, in a brief lecture, it is not possible to go.
Iran? Okay, now we go.
In a brief lecture, it is not possible to go into greater detail in any of these specific values of Islam. Of course, justice has been emphasized to such a great extent in the Quran and the Ahadith that, of course, it enjoys a very prominent place, and it deserves that place because no society can develop and prosper and generate well-being for its people without justice. This is for sure. The Quran has rightly declared, وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ حَمَلَ ظُلْمًا. he is destroyed who commits injustice. And this is more important for a society. A society where there is no justice cannot develop. Even if it develops in the short run, ultimately it will go down and face a number of problems. So justice has to be ensured, and this requires, of course, the enforcement of moral values or the rules of behavior in society, and the governments have a very important role to play here. If the governments do not play this role, then there can be a great deal of injustice, because if something wrong happens and nobody gets punished, then of course other people also start doing the same thing. In other words, if one man cheats or takes bribe and he doesn't get punished, then other people will do the same thing, and this can go on and go on until this particular vice becomes very common in society, and it becomes very difficult to remove it. So the best thing is to remove these things from the very beginning, nip them in the bud, as it is said in English. And we have not done this. There is a great deal of injustice in societies. Now, I can go to the extent of saying that Islam and injustice are incompatible with each other. If there is injustice, Islam will become weaker, and if there is Islam, true Islam in a society, injustice will become weaker and weaker. So these two cannot, injustice and Islam cannot live together. They will be enemies of each other. And of course, the shaitan would like to have greater and greater injustice in our societies, so that Islam becomes weaker and weaker. And this is what has happened to a great extent. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions from all sides?
Do you have our voice? The second question. Please clear the importance between these five
We did not hear the question. Can you repeat again?
Yes, please clear the importance in your idea between these five choice of Maqasid al-Sharia. For example, between nufus, aql, and other cases. Please explain the importance between these choices. Which one is preferred in your idea? Okay.
Which one to be preferred? Well, it depends on the nature of the discussion. If you are talking about the role of faith in society, then of course faith receives the primary importance, because if faith goes down, then nothing will be right, actually. And but when we are talking about economic development, then since human beings are the end as a result, means of development, then the nafs or the individual self acquires importance, because then the purpose of faith is to reform the human being and his society and institutions. And without faith, it would be difficult to reform these. And but anyway, if human beings are not there, then what is the purpose of faith? So while we talk of development, then the human self becomes important, but not, of course, faith does not become less important. It maintains its importance as it is. So all these five are really interrelated, and when you are talking of a comprehensive view of development, then you don't know which one to emphasize more. because if posterity is going down, then of course it may be because faith is going down, and if posterity goes down, faith will also become important. If economic development does not receive the importance that it deserves, then ultimately faith will also suffer, because of course there are so many things that require wealth, like you want to perform Hajj, you want to give zakat. These are the important teachings of Islam, and you cannot do this if there is if the economy is very weak, and many poor people then may feel the injustice that is being done to them, and as the Prophet ﷺ said, "Kadal kafaqru an yakuna kufran." Faqr or poverty drives a person close to disbelief. So many people may say, well, what is the use of this faith if these are the people who, you see so many people who are unjust, who do not pay properly to their laborers, who treat their laborers very badly, who treat their wives very badly, and this happens in a Muslim society. Naturally people will start losing faith in their religion also. So all of these are extremely important, and you cannot say that one is more important. But if you are talking about it in the sense in which Ghazali and Shatibi were discussing, then of course faith takes the first place. But if you talk it in terms of development, or in terms of what Imam Razi was discussing, then human self acquires a greater importance. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you. There is no question.
Okay, then let me conclude this lecture. Let me thank you all for attending this lecture and contributing to it by informative questions. And let me express again my sincere thanks to Dr. Omar Shapra for his informative lecture and enlightening the questions by his answers. I have two announcements. The next lecture will be on the same schedule on October 2nd, and it will be delivered by Dr. Salman Sayyid Ali, inshallah. And the title is Microeconomics and Macroeconomics within the Islamic Framework. So please, I urge all of you to come early to the lecture next time, so that we start the lecture at 1 o'clock exactly. And also the fourth lecture, inshallah, will come after Ramadan holiday on 23rd October. And we just made arrangement with Dr. Abdurrahman Yusri to give the lecture number 4, which is Public Finance, the role of taxation, expenditure and debt in an Islamic economy. So thank you again, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.